You were told it would help. You took a pill to quiet the anxiety, to lift the crushing weight of depression, to save your mental health. But what if that same medication, designed to heal your mind, secretly stole something vital from you forever? What if the relief came at the cost of your capacity for intimacy, for pleasure, for physical sensation itself? We're talking about a terrifying and often permanent side effect linked to some of the most commonly prescribed drugs in the UK and the US, a side effect so devastating. It's only now being acknowledged by major regulatory bodies, changing lives long after patients stop taking the drug. Earlier this year, a critical update was quietly added to the official drug information leaflets for many common antidepressants worldwide, including those approved by the UK's Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, the MHRA, and similar bodies like the TGA in Australia. This update was about a condition known as post-SSRI sexual dysfunction, or PSSD. PSSD is not just a temporary low libido or difficulty achieving orgasm that many people experience while taking medications like Zoloft, Prozac, or Lexapro. Those acute side effects are common and usually disappear once treatment stops. PSSD is a terrifying reality where these symptoms persist for months, years, or even permanently, long after the last pill has left the body. This is a condition that is currently stripping thousands of people of their sexual identity and their ability to connect intimately with others. To truly understand the depth of PSSD, we must look at what it does to the body, particularly the nervous system. The key characteristic of PSSD is the persistence and severity of symptoms that defy conventional sexual dysfunction. It's not simply a lack of desire. Patients frequently report, first, genital anesthesia, a complete or partial numbness of the genitals, often described as feeling like dead tissue or rubber. The capacity for physical sensation is gone. Second, abolished libido, a total absence of sexual interest, sometimes described as chemical castration. Third, sexual anhedonia, the complete inability to feel pleasure from sexual activity or orgasm, even if an orgasm is physically achievable. Fourth, emotional blunting. Many patients report profound emotional numbness or apathy, a feeling of being disconnected from their feelings, which often accompanies the sexual side effect. This cluster of symptoms transforms the individual's inner world. It affects their ability to form or maintain relationships, leads to social isolation, and, ironically, often plunges the patient back into a new, deep form of depression caused by the side effect itself. For years, patients were dismissed, told their symptoms were just their original depression returning, or all in their head. The reason for this long-standing dismissal is simple. Science currently does not fully understand the mechanism of PSSD. The primary hypothesis centers around neuroplastic change. These drugs, mainly SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and SNRIs, fundamentally change the balance of neurotransmitters like serotonin. While effective for depression, some researchers believe that in a small, vulnerable population, the drugs cause long-lasting, potentially epigenetic changes in the brain and nervous system, specifically to the receptors responsible for sexual function and emotional processing. New research, including studies published in scientific journals, suggests possible links to neuroinflammation and changes in hormone pathways, but definitive biomarkers remain elusive. This scientific uncertainty has long been the primary barrier to official recognition and effective treatment. The recent updates to official drug documentation in the UK and Australia represent a watershed moment. They explicitly state that sexual dysfunction may persist after discontinuation of treatment. For decades, the patient community, often operating in obscurity online, campaigned tirelessly, submitting case reports to agencies like the MHRA and the FDA. Their persistent data collection and personal testimonies finally force a change. This is a current happening. Regulators are now formally acknowledging that for some patients, this life-altering side effect is real, drug-induced, and long-lasting. This shift moves PSSD from the realm of anecdotal online discussion into recognized medical risk. The impact of this regulatory acknowledgement is enormous, both for existing sufferers and future patients. For those living with PSSD, the acknowledgement is bittersweet. It validates years of suffering, but doesn't offer a cure. We're talking about people in their 20s and 30s who can no longer feel love, pleasure, or attraction, fundamentally altering their life trajectories. Personal accounts shared within patient advocacy groups describe marriages ending, the inability to have children due to anorgasmia or erectile dysfunction, and the tragic sense of a stolen future. The tragedy is compounded by the fact that the medication was often taken to save their lives, only to alter the quality of that life so drastically. The biggest practical impact is the legal and ethical requirement for informed consent. Prescribing doctors can no longer rely on outdated information. They are now ethically and potentially legally obligated to inform patients that this condition, while rare, is a possibility, and that it may not resolve upon stopping the drug. This is where the conversation turns to empowerment. Patients must now be proactive. Ask direct questions like, what is my risk for PSSD? And does this drug carry the warning for persistent sexual dysfunction? Explore alternatives by discussing non-SSRI options that carry a lower risk profile, such as bupropion or certain types of tricyclic antidepressants, where appropriate. Adopt dose strategies by working with a specialist to start at the lowest possible dose and carefully monitor for early signs of sexual side effects. While the UK and Australia have made strides, global action remains inconsistent. Patient advocacy is now shifting its focus to demanding more funding for PSSD research to find a cure, not just recognition. The community is desperate for answers. Is the damage reversible? Can receptor function be restored? The next frontier in this medical saga is moving from acknowledgement to cure. The story of PSSD is a powerful lesson in medicine, a reminder that even the most common prescriptions can carry devastating, long-lasting consequences for a vulnerable few. For millions of people in the US and UK, antidepressants are life-saving. But for the PSSD community, the fight for recognition has been a silent war. The key takeaway is that awareness is your best defense. If you are ever prescribed an SSRI or SNRI, arm yourself with this knowledge and insist on a full discussion of all potential risks, especially the long-term, persistent ones, before starting treatment. This is about making informed, conscious choices about your health and your future. Have you or a loved one been affected by, or even just heard about the struggle with PSSD? Do you think the medical community is now doing enough to inform patients about this risk? Let us know your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this crucial update. If you want more in-depth fact-based investigations into trending global health stories and issues that matter, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We'll see you in the next video.